Hey guys, it's Ernest. With 58 MMOs on the PS4 in total, here are the top 10 MMOs on the PlayStation 4 arranged by PlayScore. The PlayScore is an average of gamer and critic ratings. And starting off this list is Warframe. Space Ninjas? Digital Extreme's massive multiplayer online third-person shooter is one of Steam's most played games. If not on Steam, it's Bungie's nemesis to their critically acclaimed Destiny franchise. Create your own sci-fi ninja and choose from a wide variety of warframes, guns and blades that would shape the core of your gameplay. For 6 years, Warframe constantly updates their game with new features, and just recently, its Fortuna expansion adds a stunning open world for players to explore. Expand your arsenal as you equip from a massive collection of over 30 frames and other weapons such as katanas, crossbows, etc. Almost everything in this game is customizable, but the grind is always a grind. Grab your friends and go on a futuristic rampage, grabbing loot and rare items. Travel around the solar system and encounter dangerous threats with 3 of your friends or alone. Leap, slide, and glide and become a powerful space ninja. That's what Warframe has always been about, Tenno. It has a play score of 7.78. Swooping in at number 9 is DC Universe Online. Fulfill all your childhood dreams and put yourself in the shoes of the universe's greatest. With their highly customizable characters, you can choose personalities, movement modes, weapons, powers, and your faction. Become hero or villain and side with your like-minded companions to vanquish evil or dominate the world. Yes guys, the game is still alive, although it's becoming somewhat salty now. Enter your chosen faction and meet your favorite DC icons, from the do-gooders of the Justice League to the unruly psychopaths of the society. Will you be on Joker's side or Superman's? Grow in your character's chosen path and go on missions along with friends and strangers. It's a handcrafted experience that lets you live the stories straight from the comic books. It's the largest superhero online game as of the moment, and its long-running online community is still alive and kicking, alongside new features and storylines. It has a play score of 7.81. Rolling the dice at number 8 is Neverwinter. The pen and paper adventures live on in this free-to-play MMORPG from Cryptic Studios. Based on the deep lore of the Dungeons & Dragons universe, immerse yourself in its complex and layered narrative, topped with beautiful visuals and impressive voice acting. It still leaves an inner longing to see the action unfold with your very own eyes, and that's exactly what Neverwinter offers. From the makers of Perfect World comes a fantasy MMORPG set in the eponymous city of the Forgotten Realms. Play as one of the many race types and classes and take up your role as a protector of a devastated land. Choose your own fate because this game has a ton of adventure in store for you guys. It receives a play score of 7.94. Continuing the grind at number 7 is Destiny 2. Celebrating its recent freedom from the evil clutches of Activision, Bungie's science fiction MMO FPS is bound to get better this time around. For starters, Destiny 2 is the sequel to Bungie's first original IP ever since their fiasco with Halo and Microsoft. Story takes place in the far future where aliens in huge white balls are a common sight. The light is everyone's source of power, and it is central to the game's story and combat. Create your own character and choose from 3 unique classes. Each offer distinct abilities that can be useful in its multiplayer and single-player modes. Since this is an MMO FPS, players can meet other people in each of the game's social hubs and help each other out with fast and fluid dungeon runs. Aside from its other modes, Destiny 2's best feature is all about its multiplayer raids. Gather your team of 4 and slay countless alien hordes while solving complex riddles. The game forces players to work together in order to take down each dungeon boss for that sweet legendary gear. It receives a play score of 7.97. Making it big at number 6 is PlanetSide 2. Take part in the biggest first-person shooters ever created. This game does not joke around with the word massive. A sequel to 2003's PlanetSide, this MMO FPS can hold thousands of players in a single, all-out interplanetary battle. It even made a name for itself for winning the Guinness World Record for the most players in a single game yet. Considering its lifespan, the game is still alive but with questionable game decisions lately, especially its dwindling community. Story-wise, it's a sequel to the original. Head to the battlefield as one of the 3 competing factions, each with their own unique strengths and abilities. Gather your friends and use the power of team. Play your roles, coordinate with allies, and complete objectives together. At this point, PlanetSide 2 is becoming more like a nostalgia trip rather than an actual shooter experience, especially when there's a lot of shooters in the market now. It receives a play score of 8.05. Waking up at number 5 is The Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel Unlimited. The Elder Scrolls series, particularly its 5th installment, Skyrim, from the faraway year of 2010, is kinda like the Madonna of the video game world, always finding a way to become relevant again. Unanimously praised for its open-world innovations, many of our Dragonborn dreams came true with the 2014 release of this sprawling MMO. Arriving on the PS4 the next year, it opened to a hesitant fanbase. 5 years later, it's still going, finding its footing with new content and continual updates. It catches up with today's top visual tech. Its separate DLCs recreated the world of Morrowind in 2017 and Somerset in 2018, making it more immersive than ever before. Their upcoming expansion explores elsewhere, the land of the fan-favorite Khajiits, and welcomes the return of the ancient dragons. It might not have been the best game in 2015, but 5 years of improvements have inched it closer and closer to the Tamriel we've dreamed of. It has a play score of 8.06. It's all destruction at number 4 with War Thunder. War comes thundering on in this combat multiplayer game from Russian studio Gaijin. Not concerning themselves with the nitty-gritty of politics, War Thunder puts a premium on the joys of battle. Recreating the scenes of World War II, the game's best feature is its dizzying array of army artillery. Covering all of land, sea, and air, players will get to pick their battles, whether it's explosive tank face-offs, dogfights, or salt-licked naval combat. In their varying game modes, they balance the scales between arcade enjoyment and historical accuracy, gradually upping the punishment for veteran warmongers. For many critics, War Thunder stands as one of the best in terms of military shooting, especially on the PS4. Exhibiting detail and an array of customizations in the free-to-play formula, it's well worth the investment despite its deep learning curve. With its triple threat offering, it's a must-have for fans of the genre. It has a play score of 8.09. Spacefaring at number 3 is Elite Dangerous. You'd imagine that space, in its seemingly infinite vastness, is one hell of a challenge to simulate. The folks at Frontier Development, though, have done exactly that. Giving players a cosmic playground about the size of our own Milky Way galaxy, Elite Dangerous' primary strength lies in its emergent quality. A feeling of true sandbox, experience the world however you want to. Whether it's sending out deliveries as a trusty trucker, becoming a space pirate, or vying for a throne in the political sphere. Faced with a galaxy of choices, learning just how the world works might be a challenge with a game's steep learning curve and usually unhelpful tutorials. The depth of its detail is one of its most polarizing aspects. It's hard to get into without dedicating a lot of time and effort, but ultimately rewarding for the would-be space explorers. Gathering players into a persistent world with a choice of both good and bad paths, it has a play score of 8.1. Shoot, shoot, and shoot at number 2 with World of Tanks. While War Thunder excels at giving players variety, World of Tanks on the other hand wins at specialization. Part of Wargaming series of military combat titles, this MMO focuses on the famous on-ground artillery. Much like their fun and wacky trailers, World of Tanks has a multitude of tank types, each dedicated to fit certain playstyles and personalities. Whether it's heavies or lights, Chinese or UK, fast or slow, there's one for whatever tactic you decide to take up on the battlefield. Much like other MMOs, World of Tanks' over 150 tank types also contribute to the confusing mess of menus you have to go through, but that would ignore the sheer explosive and strategic thrills that their arena offers. Originally created for the PC, critics and gamers agree that Wargaming did a splendid job with this port, rendering the battlefield with striking graphics and sprinkling with extra exclusive content. It has a play score of 8.11. Before we reveal the number 1, you can check out the complete list of 58 MMOs for the PS4 on our website, whatoplay.com, linked in the top right corner and the description box below. And the best MMO on the PS4 is Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. The company's own kind of phoenix, Final Fantasy XIV was Square Enix's sinking ship in 2010, but they managed to bring back from the ashes with a move to the MMO format. Literally A Realm Reborn, it was built on a whole engine that incorporated all the massive improvements to the original. A few years before the open world sites of Final Fantasy XV, this online multiplayer ushered FF fans into a hub for their own Final Fantasy adventures that only got better with each successive patch. As a subscription-based game, it offers a free trial that caps at level 35, letting players on the fence to get a taste of the action. Showered with constant updates, it's been an enjoyment that's only evolved for the better through the years. It has a play score of 8.7. And those were the top 10 PS4 MMOs. And if you love this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to become a certified What To Player. That's about it. See you next time.